All right. This final video is to actually just go through the material that Candy gave to us to help us because that is pretty much what we need to make sure we're successful. Anything else that I find, I will send your way. But I've pretty much shown you everything that I think will be helpful, but if not, let me know. All right, going back to this email, we've already looked at the revised Slo template. We're going to look at the rubric here. All right. This is the rubric that will be used to assess your Slo. So it's important for you to actually look over it and make sure you understand that properly. It matches up with everything that I've discussed already, but I'll just do a quick scan of that. So remember, you have the big idea and your standards. You have a clear explanation of why that learning goal is important for your grade and for your students. Clear explanation of how the goal shows a deep understanding of your content in your course and that it is something that is feasible within the time period allowed. And it is, and you have specified very specific instructional strategies that you're going to use to help the students be successful. So that's important. And if you look here, this is a rubric part I've been talking about under assessments and scoring. High quality assessments with evidence to support how the appropriateness and quality of assessments has been established. Scoring rubrics that appropriately differentiate student performance, including evidence to support these rubrics, have been validated, and progress monitoring measures that will be used, including how instruction will be differentiated for all learners based on information. So you have to have a rubric and you have to tell how you're going to continue to make sure students are reaching that goal you set. Are you going to do check-ins of, for example, I'm thinking about Tammy with PE. If it's the fitness test, how often are you going to check that they're reaching that fitness goal? You're going to have them run every other week and you're going to time them, have them record videos. What are you going to do? And you're going to assess them with that and give them feedback so they can grow. And the last part is clearly and thoroughly explains how the data are used, later used to define teacher performance, include appropriate baseline data information used to establish and differentiate expected performance, and rigorous expectations that are realistic and attainable for each group of students using a documented high quality assessments. So again, students, is it realistic? Are you saying that a student who normally makes a D in a math class is going to be a 99, 100 student in your class? They could, and we really hope they do. But realistically, if they have a trend of that, maybe the first goal would be to get them to make a C in the class. Get them to move up a tier. Now, if they make it, hey, that's just amazing. We want them to surpass our goals. But just think about what you know about the student. And if you notice, there was an asterisk at the beginning here, this section. The asterisk is explained at the bottom. A high quality assessment has been determined to be aligned with identified standards and depth of knowledge, has a rubric or scoring guide that allows for reliable scoring, and is fair and unbiased. So you have to have a rubric. If you're nervous about that, it gives you heartburn, I can help you. Not a problem. All right, the next one is a Slo quality checklist. All right. Does a Slo state learning goal is a specific, measurable, appropriate, realistic, and time bound? So again, that's that SMART goal. Like we tell our students to write SMART goals, and we are writing SMART goals as well. So again, is it clear? Is it measurable? Do you have actual numbers? If you have zero numbers in your Slo, then it is not measurable. So you have to have numbers in those sections we mentioned earlier. And of course, does it fit your students? Is there clear mastery? Is it rigorous? Is it time bound, realistic? So, we know about SMART goals, so just keep that in mind. But if not, know that that's here for you, and I can go over that more with you if you need to. All right, think about this assessment checklist here. So remember, there needs to be aligned to standards. You need to have multiple choice questions. You need to have short answer and extended response. You also need to do a little check here with your Slo. You have rubric and scoring guides. So all these things are here to help you. Remember that your assessment, you had to have all these things done. So they're going to need to look at your pretest to score that and get an idea of what that pretest looks like. So remember, kind of go through your pretest and, make sure you had all those things lined up and together. And of course, this is just important for background information purposes. If you go to these websites, okay, the ones that Candy sent out, then they will be helpful for you as well. I'm going to send just another additional one that was in the video, but again, she's already provided great sources for you. Um, and I mean, you'll be fine. This is just like doing a GBE. It's just a longer version of a GBE. We have always looked at our data. We've always made decisions about student performance and what we're going to teach based on data. That's the only step that's different. Is just you're just documenting it. That's it. Versus just doing it in your head or on your computer. You're just sharing it with someone else. So it is feasible. It is doable. You're awesome teachers. You're smart, and you're going to be fine. All right. I wanted to show you the part where it is on here. But again, remember you need to have your percentages with your assessments. You need to have 80%, this type of multiple choice, and 20%. I don't know why it's not on my little list right here. But remember that you need to have a certain amount of multiple choice, a certain amount of open-ended, and a certain amount of extended response. We kind of guesstimated that to be around 34 when we did the math. If you did a questions of 42 questions, you need to have at least 34 multiple choice, 6 open-ended, and 2 extended response. And again, open-ended could be very short. Open-ended is just the student's writing and you're not giving them the answers. Extended response is just a longer piece. No one said it had to be 5 paragraphs, just a longer writing piece. So keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about your pretest. So and the reason why they use those 3 methods is because each method provides a different type of answer. Multiple choice is more measurable, and it helps you to give your different options. Open-ended gives a little bit more explanation, and critical thinking should do more of the application and beyond just the basic thought. So keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about your assessments of students, because you've given them 3 different tiers of thinking with the different types of questions. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If not, I'm going to continue to help you the best way possible because you're awesome. All right. Connect.